Hey guys, it's Anna and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be covering the only 5 fragrances you need. Now obviously fragrance is a luxury, it's not a necessity. However, if you have the money, I would highly recommend investing in some fragrances. You do not need some, big collection of scents. About 5 is really the perfect spot because you're going to have all your categories covered without your collection being overwhelming. Fragrance is an amazing way to spice up your outfit, to set the mood, to express yourself. So I will give you my picks for both men and women, and you can obviously swap out the fragrances in each category depending on your taste, but this is the game plan. This is what we're aiming for. And I'm hoping that this will be helpful for you, whether you're new to fragrances, just getting started, or you have a bigger collection but you're wanting to cut back and you want to really narrow down the categories. Ladies first, I think every woman needs at least one vanilla perfume in her collection. Vanilla is such a universally flattering, pleasing note just across the board. It's very likable. It's said to be an aphrodisiac. A good staple vanilla is gonna work wonders for you. Whether it be for a date, work, school, just everyday scenarios, vanilla across the board is just a hit. And my pick would be Guerlain's Spiritueuse Double Vanille. And this smells like a beautiful, natural, raw vanilla perfume. This scent is going to have people wanting to bury themselves in your neck. I get compliments like crazy from people with this one. Like people that don't normally compliment me can't help but say something about this one. This lasts on me all day and the sillage sits within my bubble. It isn't an overwhelming vanilla scent. It isn't like super sugary. It isn't really dark, deep, heavy. It's very airy and easy to wear. What I love about this is that although it is more of your straightforward vanilla fragrance, this does not smell cheap at all. It really does smell special and refined without it being complex. Anyone could wear this, any age, and it's just going to be beautiful. There is an incense note in here that I can definitely pick up, although it is not a smoky incense. This is the incense that has that addictive sweet quality to it, and that melds so beautifully into this Guerlain vanilla. The benzoin is like a beautiful, soft, resinous amber note that has a bit of a powdery quality, adds a bit of richness without it being too much. There's a little bit of an ylang-ylang note in there, I feel like, just to aid in the creamy quality of this scent, and a touch of cedar to ground it as well. But at the forefront, this is a masterfully crafted vanilla dominant perfume, and I will absolutely continue to repurchase this forever. Next category, find yourself a good floral fragrance. Now, before I heavily got into fragrances, I was convinced floral fragrances were not for me because to me, they were all smelling very generic or mature. And I'm like, no, florals are not for me. So if that is you, think again, because personally, I think you just haven't smelled enough. You haven't been exposed to the good stuff. Now, my recommendation may not be for you. I mean, not every perfume on the planet is gonna suit everyone's taste, but I assure you, those wow factor florals do exist out there. And now, at this point, I have many outstanding floral fragrances in my collection, and I'm usually like a unisex fragrance girl. That's my category. But I now have my ride or die florals and I'm obsessed with them. They're not going anywhere. And it doesn't even need to be a floral bomb. It can just have floral elements, but I think that those notes bring in an elegance, a sophistication, and just a beautifully natural feminine vibe. The one that changed my mind for me was Parfum de Marly Delina. It changed my mind about Rose as well. Still a note that for the majority I do not like, but there are definitely creations that I love now. This is a wildly unique fragrance. This is not your basic fruity floral. This is the lychee rose combo that started it all. First of all, I want to note that the rose note in here is lovely. It is fresh, crisp, dew-covered. It smells like a pink rose. It's nothing dry or dark, and that is accompanied by peony, which definitely adds that overall very light, feminine, pink energy. And the fruit of choice is lychee, which is super juicy, exotic, unique, definitely has a bright tropical tone. It's juicy, but also a bit tart, and that tartness is amplified by the rhubarb. That note isn't gonna be for everyone, so make sure you sample it first. But I love this fragrance from beginning to end. In the beginning, that is where you're gonna get this bright burst, a pop of the tart quality, the juiciness. There's a bit of citrus from the bergamot. It's very uplifting, fun, feminine, and the longer this sits on your skin, by the way, this is nuclear. This projects, it lasts forever. It's one of the best performing fragrances in my collection. As it dries down on your skin, it's gonna warm up, it's gonna get more creamy. That vanilla creeps in. The musk that's used in here is so unbelievably sexy and sensual. It's enticing. There's a beautiful, smooth, woody base and just a touch of an incense note just to add to the exotic feel. This fragrance is incredibly versatile, and that's what we're going for. When we have a small collection, we want to choose scents that are versatile, that are gonna work in a lot of different situations. This could be a signature scent, a hell of a signature scent, okay? But this could also be special occasion for some people, just depends on your vibe. There's a sophistication to this fragrance, so you can wear this to work. There's a professionalism about it, but it is so sexy and alluring, and men go crazy over this. So you can wear this for dates. And this specific fragrance wears beautifully in all seasons. So even if this particular scent is not going to be for you, I would recommend going for a floral fragrance that has that wow factor, that has a uniqueness, that will work in multiple scenarios. Next category, we need a freshie. We need something that's gonna work in the warm and hot weather. We want something refreshing for the gym. This would be my pick. Not your basic citrus, incredibly chic and classy. Has to be Byredo Bal. This is gonna leave you smelling like your best self. This is not your cleaning product kind of scent. It's not boring, it's not basic. This is the casual, I just threw this on fragrance for the it girl. You use all your luxurious hair products, bath products, you name it. You are gonna be smelling like the most chic, fresh girl in any room you walk into. I pick up a lot of that bergamot in this scent. It is so natural, crisp, refreshing, cooling to wear. A beautiful blend of florals in here. Nothing jumps out to me, but the florals do have a subtle, fruity, sweet undertone to them. So there is definitely this underlying airy sweetness in this fragrance that really keeps pulling me back to this scent. And it's grounded with the most luxurious, fresh, clean vetiver. Literally, I feel like the entire Byredo aesthetic, that scent, the idea is just bottled right here. It definitely has a chic, cool factor to it. This one lasts about 6 hours on me, which is pretty good considering it is a fresh scent, and the sillage sits in my bubble. Next, we need an everyday scent, your skin but better scent, if you will. If you are, say, working in healthcare and you need something soft, but just like a little bit of something, you want people thinking you smell good, but it's not like, oh, she's wearing a perfume. Wear Clean Reserve Skin if you want to smell like the best woman on the planet naturally. You will be having people questioning, is she wearing a perfume, or is that just the unbelievably heavenly sweet scent of her skin? They have truly mastered the scent of someone effortlessly beautiful with this scent. I find it so unbelievably addictive. Although this is not a complex scent, it's simplicity done right, and that can sometimes be very hard to do. First of all, you're going to smell clean but slightly sweet. So you used these beautiful, lightly sweet bath products. There's a vanilla orchid, soft, pillowy honeysuckle, a sensual, clean, fluffy, addictive musk. And then the salted praline note, which is just a cherry on top. One of the best notes that they chose for this fragrance. That note does wonders in here because it adds a little bit of this mouth-watering, alluring effect. Adds that little sprinkle of you know when desserts have just a touch of salt. I'm not talking like heavy salted caramel, anything like that. No, you're not smelling this and thinking salt. It's just a bit to smell like you have this slightly salted, warm skin. It's sensual without trying to be. It's just a natural beauty. That's what we aspire to be. The Clean Reserve line as a whole is just very light, so be aware of that. I shower myself in this. Last category for the ladies. I think you should have a gourmand, but a sophisticated gourmand, you know? Because to me, that's bringing in that alluring factor, that yummy vibe, but then we have the perks of it being more versatile if it isn't a literal straight up and down gourmand. And my pick would be Fragrance du Bois Minuit et Demi. We also need a fragrance, of course, for the fall and winter months, so this will do the job. Date night, something more dressed up, it'll do the trick. I think every woman should have at least one fragrance that has a little bit of sass, a little bit of those dark notes sprinkled in. And in the base, we have wood, liquor, tobacco, spicy notes at the top. But don't let that overwhelm you because this is a very smooth blend. I think, in my opinion, all of the notes, their strength, it's set to perfection. Nothing feels overwhelming in this scent. So those darker notes are just there to ground it, to keep it from being too sweet, give you that confident edge, a base for the cooler months, and it's blended over by a beautiful caramel and vanilla. Again, not too sweet. This is a gourmand that's sitting nicely in the middle. If you're not into scents that make you smell like food, this could still be a hit for you. And again, the coffee note isn't too loud. It's not going to leave you smelling like a latte, but it is bringing in that cozy factor. This lasts about 7 hours on me and projection is moderate. For the men, I think an essential in your fragrance collection is Maison Margiela Replica Jazz Club. This is by far my favorite from the Replica line. Most of them have trouble with performance, but this one will last. I get about 6 hours from this one with moderate projection. And although this is a prominent tobacco, boozy fragrance, it is an eau de toilette concentration, so it's not going to be heavy. Therefore, it's going to work for a lot of different occasions for you. First of all, this is sexy. It truly does smell like you are walking in a jazz club. They have created that scene to a T with this fragrance. It smells like you walked into this dimly lit, like romantic setting, wooden bar, aesthetics are on point, top quality booze, nice glasses, we got some cigars, but it doesn't smell smoky like cigar smoke, more so the smell of actual cigars. It's a very smooth fragrance. There's a light amount of spiciness at the top from the pink pepper. There's a dry, earthy, aromatic feel from the vetiver, the sage, and there's just a touch of vanilla. This does not scream vanilla to me by any means, but it's just there to smooth out these notes. Get this for your date nights. This can work in a professional setting as well. This would make a sexy overall signature scent. You just smell put together. You smell like a man. You smell sophisticated. I just find this absolutely intoxicating. And there is definitely this overall balmy feel to the fragrance that marries with your skin so nicely. Like you're a smooth talker when you wear something like this. And this one you can wear truly year round for any occasion, and that is going to be BDK Gris Charnel. This is a dry sandalwood balm, but there is a fresh aromatic black tea note that brings an overall fresh quality to the scent. There's a bit of a fig note, bringing in a slight natural amount of sweetness. You're not going to smell this and think, oh, this smells fruity or this smells sweet, but it makes this blend overall a little bit more unique. There's a fresh, spicy cardamom, a cozy, powdery iris without this smelling like a makeup product, vetiver adding to the overall dry, woody factor, and just a touch of tonka bean to smooth things over. It's very chic and edgy, yet pleasing. This is a big compliment getter. Performance is there. It's gonna last all day and it has pretty good projection. It's not an absolute beast, but it's definitely gonna do the trick. Now you want something fresh. You want something for the gym, spring and summer, a your skin but truly 10 times better scent. I could not recommend the Labo Another 13 more. I have such a deep love affair with this fragrance because it really smells like the Netherlands to me. It smells like I am standing in the middle of a forest in the Netherlands. It's just rain, so I'm getting that crisp, clean air scent. I'm getting the fresh smell of wood. And then there is an element of a sexy man's cologne. Musky, a little bit salty. I go feral over this scent. Like, you want to smell clean, chic, put together. Performance is amazing with this one. You only need a couple sprays. It projects. It will leave a trail. I've said this before, but women have literally followed Eric, hunting him down to find out what he's wearing when he's wearing another 13. I don't blame them, but back off. I've smelled this fragrance a million times on him, but it will give me that wow factor every time. Every time. This has a blast of an ISO-y super note, which is a fragrance molecule that resembles the scent of like fresh, crisp wood, and it really makes a fragrance last. It's very clean, musky. We have that ambrette note. It feels like there's an ambergris note in here as well, like this natural, slightly salted feel. It's cooling, refreshing, and just across the board, I feel like it's very likable. You don't want a scent that smells like you're trying to do the most, but you still want to make an impact. Try this, that's all I'm saying. Now for a scent that really is trying to do the most, like complete opposite end of the spectrum, but I think it's important. I think it's important that you have one of these in your collection. That beast mode, like, I am here, I'm smelling rich, like you smell dominant, you smell like mystery, like you got a story to tell. I mean, are you shocked? Are you shocked? No one's shocked. Yes, Oud for greatness. Every single man that I've ever introduced this fragrance to, their mind has been blown. Their eyes have been opened to the world of perfumery. They didn't know something like this could exist. And they're like, holy shit, I need it. And I would argue that, yes, indeed. This is an intense fragrance. This is not for the lighthearted, but people will be turning heads when they smell this. This is one of the strongest fragrances in my collection. 3 sprays, you're good. You don't need to do more than that. Most prominent note in here, throw out your wild guess. Oud. I know. But it is a very smooth version of that note. It's very dry in here. It's not like this. Okay. This does not sound very appealing, but it's not that, okay? It's not like the moist, damp, animalic, barnyard kind of oud. We have a spectrum of oud. This is incredibly smooth, refined, dry, and it's uplifted by the note of saffron. So the oud brings it down, and the saffron brings this airiness and a very exotic, intoxicating, airy sweetness. And I think that's why this fragrance has been such a hit, because it is so dynamic. It's aromatic a bit. We have a touch of lavender, and it's not listed, but I get an overall dark, smooth, non-animalic leather in here, just like that cool boy, like that bad boy feel, but not in an immature, wild kind of way, because it really does smell grown. You're wildly intimidated, but you can't stop thinking about them. Just saying. And the last fragrance, I think, just as I said for the ladies, that every man should have a fragrance that has some gourmand elements in it. I understand some men are not into the gourmand vibe, I get it, but I think just a couple gourmand notes in there, it's gonna work wonders for you. Why? Let me tell you why. You have different categories for smelling alluring. We love someone that smells clean, okay? That's fantastic. We love a clean smelling man. Something enticing, bold, sexy, mysterious. It's like that evokes a feeling. But this next fragrance, if you're pulling for something with a gourmand element, it's inviting. It's cozy, you want to draw people in. And that is why I love this fragrance, because it's not straight up and down gourmand, but it has those notes that are mouth-watering, and people are gonna want to bury themselves in your neck. And that is none other than literally my all-time favorite fragrance, and that is Herod by Parfums de Marly. I can't help but smile. When Eric wears this, I lose my mind. Like, I just want to cling to him. I don't want to leave his side. I'm gonna be right there. It makes me salivate. It is that good. The vanilla that is used in this fragrance is unreal. It is so smooth and creamy, inviting. It has a spiced vibe from the cinnamon. It does definitely have a vanillic spiced apple cider vibe to the fragrance, with there being prominent, sexy, darker notes to ground it. The tobacco is rich and sweetened. Same thing with the incense. It's not so smoky. It more so adds that exotic, slight, sweet tone to the scent. It's grounded with wood, cedar, there's vetiver, cypriol. If you have not put your nose on this before, you need to. And this lasts about 6 hours with moderate projection. We are literally down to here at this point because I wear it too. And I have my backup bottle ready to go. So that completes my list of 5 fragrances for both men and women. I hope it was helpful, hopefully inspired you if you're looking to curate your fragrance collection. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. If you want to see me in any more videos, I'd appreciate it so much. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!